Okay, so today we want to cover in the first segment, we want to talk about why you should have a buyer's agent, especially in a seller's market like this. It's now more important than ever to have a buyer's agent. And like I said before, in the studios with us, we have Joe Fazio with the DiSpirito Team. And Joe works with a ton of buyers on our team, right, Joe? You working? You sent me your list the other day. And how many people are you working with right now?
Probably 12 to 15.
12 to 15. And what's happening on the market right now?
Not enough inventory.
Not enough inventory. Inventory is very shy. It's actually the lowest it's ever been on record. So when you have such a low inventory, you can imagine that people should have buyer representation. Now, since you are a buyer specialist, right? And he's laughing because Joe wears a lot of hats for us. When Joe first started, Greg, you'll appreciate this. When Joe first started, we were doing rentals as well, right? And Joe's like, yeah. And Joe's like, okay, great. I'm doing another rental. I was like, yeah, Joe, you're the rental specialist. So he's like, what? So he actually did several, and Joe, you got to learn how to do rentals very well, but now we refer those actually out to companies like Nexus. Let's talk about, why somebody should use a buyer's agent versus going directly to the listing agent, because everybody has this feeling that if you go right to the listing agent that you're going to get a better quote unquote deal because the listing agent supposedly is going to go ahead and drop their commission to make it happen. Now, that's one really weak agent, and I hope that people don't perceive realtors like that. Okay, so now as far as some tips that you'd have, Joe, is working with a lot of buyers like you do. Okay, buyer is new, a buyer's coming on Zillow.com or on Trulia or Realtor.com or whatever. They're getting calls from agents, and the buyer's thinking I should probably go directly to the listing agent. Can you share some tips that might help these people out in a hardcore seller's market like it is right now?
Definitely. I think one of the most important things is to have a pre-approval in hand.
A mortgage pre-approval.
Mortgage pre-approval.
Okay.
Some new listings are getting offers within hours of being on market.
Yes.
And that's not enough time for you to go back and work on getting your pre-approval.
No, not at all.
So you need to have a pre-approval in hand ready to go.
So Joe, another thing too, you said like the market, things are moving swiftly right now, okay?
Yeah.
So with stuff moving so fast, you want to be pre-approved for a mortgage, okay? But also, how should a buyer act? Like when they see a house that they want. Now, we don't want anybody rushing, right? We're not saying that. But when they see a house that they really love, should they put a low ball offer in? Should they put an aggressive offer in? What kind of advice do you have as a buyer in a seller's market?
Definitely be aggressive.
Yep.
Don't overpay for a house. Your agent's gonna make sure what you're buying justifies what you're offering.
Okay.
But definitely be aggressive, not only with price but also contingencies and dates, your financing.
Okay. So what kind of contingencies are on the contract? Like that would cover what, like the home inspection.
Home
right?
inspection, yep.
Okay.
You could waive a home inspection. You could waive your appraisal contingency.
Mm-hmm. So in a case, actually, I'm going to ask you this. So in a case where somebody would waive a home inspection, like when we list houses, we do something outside of the box. We do a pre-list home inspection. So we disclose you come to a DiSpirito Team listing, you're going to know everything that is in that house, everything that's wrong with that house. It's all disclosed. The house is priced right to market. We're getting at or above list price on nearly all of our properties because of this, right? And buyers feel good about that. So that's a case where somebody might want to waive their inspection contingency.
Yeah, waive the inspection contingency.
Okay.
That it basically puts you straight into pending without that 10-day inspection period.
That's huge because what can happen in that 10-day period? A buyer they can walk away.
They could walk away if they're not satisfied with the repairs, if it's too much for them to handle.
Yep. So it leaves the sellers exposed.
Yep.
Okay. So wow. So a lot of buyers. So you want to be aggressive in your offer in different ways. That's just one of many ways that, Joe or a designated buyer's representative can tell you. Another thing too is that people don't realize that there's so much more than just negotiating price.
Yeah. Price definitely isn't everything.
It's not.
I like to say make your offer smooth. And what I mean by that is get some information about your sellers. Like, what if they accept your offer, but they have kids in school?
So you stalk people?
No. Talk with the listing agent. They're going to want to wait till their kids get out of school to move them to a new school system. So they're going to favor a closing date,
Smart.
A little further out rather than your normal 45 days.
This guy is slick, let me tell you. I've spoken with so many of Joe's clients that we're really, really happy with Joe, because here's another thing too, by the way. a lot of people don't know this. A lot of these, what they call IDX websites, okay, like the third-party real estate websites, they take up to 48 hours to post homes when, in some cases, when MLS, it's on right away. So one of the things that Joe and that our team does is we link people right up in our own MLS. They can use our MLS. You're seeing stuff as soon as it hits the market. Within seconds, you're going to get that email as soon as it hits. Yep. And Joe's on top of that too. Like he's monitoring stuff. So having a buyer's agent, it allows you to go ahead and see stuff before the rest of the crowd does. And Joe, how much does it cost to have a buyer's agent? $0 up front. $0 up front. And what about how about at closing? Do we charge anything?
DiSpirito Team does not.
The DiSpirito Team does not. So, and I know there's some other, respectfully, there's some other buyer's agent realtors out there that do not, but there's some that do. Mm-hmm. There's some that do. So your closing costs are now that much higher. I mean, instead of having $4,000 or $5,000 closing costs, you might be paying $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 closing costs for a buyer's agent. Mm. I don't think you should have to do that in today's market. Things may change where we may have to adjust.
Yeah.
But right now, get it while it's hot. Get it while it's free.